Okay guys, what's up? How are you all doing? Welcome back to another Crossroads SMP in the Wizard Valley. This time round we're building something highly aesthetic. Going to be carving a skull into the side of a mountain as the first part of a Necromancer lair. Even though we're building a haven of villainy and evil, this is going to be a chill, relaxing video, just doing a little bit of building. Going to be doing a bit of chatting, a little bit about myself, a little bit about wizards, and anything else that comes up. So, without further ado, let's head over to Dinky's Mystical Agriculture Farm, gather a few resources we need for the build, and then going to do some old-fashioned gathering for all the rest of the stuff. So, starting off with the essences, make a little bit of blackstone. And we're going to get like 750 bits of tuff. Should be enough. Right, and then quick jaunt into the nether for a few final bits and pieces. Ooh, we'll just collect that little bit of lava. We're going to need that later. You'll see why. It's going to be super cool. Quick hello to the locals while we're here. And then this is what we want, gilded blackstone. I don't think there's any way to get this other than to upset the locals. Back to the mines. Using our ad hoc smelting station, we're going to make up some smooth basalt, a little bit of copper, and turn into bricks. Again, like you're going to see why we need all this stuff a little bit later. And so, building materials, we're going to be using sanded cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, basalt, smooth basalt, sanded basalt, cobbled deep slate, sanded deep slate, tuff, and then we're going to have the gilded blackstone, emerald, and cut copper stairs, just for a little bit of design element, and then a little bit of blackstone, a few extra materials in there, just in case we need it. This is our canvas. This is our mountain that we're going to build the skull into. It's going to look down across the entire valley, and hopefully you'll be able to see it from like the way station, from the mine, from the enchanting setup. Just going to have that imposing presence looming large over the whole valley. And so, first block placed. Yeah. Now we're working. Now we're building. Getting right onto it. So, I do have a design that I'm working from. Did a little bit of playing around in creative just to get the shape right, get the textures right. Wait. No zombies until the Necromancer's tower is finished. It's not ready yet. Yeah, some people are just so impatient. Right, what was I saying? Yeah, so I've got a design that I'm working from just to get everything right. Play around with a few different design choices, a few different block choices. So I'm hoping it's going to be a pretty seamless build, but no promises. I really like the idea of having the skull like in the mountain. I think it's a pretty common trope in fantasy media, and it's just something about it just feels cool. Like, you know, like you've got Skull Island in King Kong that's got that kind of really imposing, like you see it and you know that something unusual is going to be happening, or like something a little bit sinister. It just has that little voice in the back of your head that just says, like, you know that something cool is happening here. Like, who built it? Why is it here? Of course, we're not going to get a lot of that mystery in this one, because we know that it was the Necromancers. The Necromancers built it because they have a flair for the dramatic, as do I. But then, you know, we see it other places, like Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm fairly sure had some kind of skull cave, or I don't know if, is it Tortuga? Not Tortuga, the island that they go to that Jack's compass points to. I think that was like a skull island. And then, of course, Castle Grayskull. Can't forget Castle Grayskull. I think I even had like a Lego set when I was younger that was like a skull mountain. But yeah, it's basically, since I was a child, I've just had like this image of like skull mountains fed to me. So now I get to build my own through the magic of Minecraft. And you know, I just knew that if I was going to build a tower for each different wizard, then you know, the Necromancer had to have a skull theme somewhere in it. So I really hope you enjoy this build and like it once it's finished. just getting the outline done now, placing down a little bit of cobblestone, because we'll get the outline done, then we'll fill it all in, and then get like a little bit of the 3D effect, and then finish it off with a few cool details that I've got planned just to show off to you. Because this is actually, it's going to be like the first build that I'm doing in the Wizard Valley that's themed to a particular school of magic. So the other ones have just been kind of generic magical feel, whereas this one is going to be specifically for the Necromancers. So I did say I was going to take a bit of time out during this build to chat about myself a little bit. For a while I wanted to like explain my name, because it's not a typical Minecraft name. AbWizard doesn't really scream Minecraft, but I'm trying my best to lean into the wizard half of it. But you know, my day job is as a personal trainer, and in like my free time I do really enjoy LARPing. And like the last LARP that I went to, basically I had like an open shirt and I got the nickname AbWizard, and I just really found that funny, really quite enjoyed that. Just give me a second, I need to check this, something doesn't feel right on the build. So just checking the reference, and yeah, that needs to go down one, and we can start building up again. So what was I saying? Yes, so I got the nickname the AbWizard at the last LARP that I went to. I'm actually getting ready for my next LARP at the moment, so I know uploads have been a little bit slow, but I've just started at a new gym as a personal trainer, so I'm doing a lot of work trying to build up a client base there. And then, as I said, just a couple of days, video might actually go up after I've come back from the LARP. So next video I'll be able to tell you how that all goes. But for now, just a lot of life stuff is coming before Minecraft and video editing. But hopefully, once I've got a few clients sorted out, and once the LARP is done, then we'll be able to attack Minecraft with full force. Something doesn't look quite right here, is that? Yeah, all this side needs to come up one. I messed up there a little bit. So yeah, take that one out. Take that one out. Okay. Yeah, that's already looking a little bit better. I've always been like a big fan of fantasy stuff and like Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of roleplay, but it's only quite recently that I got into LARPing, and I think there is like a little bit of a learning curve that goes through it, and some people don't. Some people just like hit the ground running, but for me, ironically, given my job and my hobbies and now doing YouTube, I've always been like more of a quiet person, a little bit reserved, and I don't know, maybe you can relate, but I always find that even though like going to a LARP, you have like, everyone's like on the same track and everyone there's probably going to be like a little bit socially awkward to some extent, it's still just pretending to be like someone else and doing that kind of thing. There's a little bit of awkwardness to it. I find, like I said, some people just really take to it. Anyway, the build. So what I'm doing right now, in the Irons and Spells mod, the Necromancers have a rare drop called the Tarnished Crown, and you can actually see it in the design of the Necromancers. They're all wearing one. So I really wanted to bring that into this build, into this skull mountain face, and so that's what I'm building right now. That's what the Gilded Blackstone is for. During like my practicing in creative, I did try a few different materials like iron, raw iron, copper and raw copper, and oxidized copper, and nothing really looked quite as nice as the Gilded Blackstone. I think this really suits the build. It really feels right. Just as like a centerpiece, we're just gonna have like an inlaid emerald. Again, this just, I think, adds like a little bit of colour that just really brings the build together. But unfortunately you can't do stairs out of copper, so I'm sorry, you can't do stairs out of emerald, so we're going to bring in a little bit of that oxidized copper because it's pretty decent for the color palette wise, and then it just really helps create that kind of emerald shape, so it looks like a Minecraft emerald. Yeah, I think it looks really cool. Just got to place the last 2 blocks, and I think you'll see what I mean. And of course you're going to have to wait for it to fully oxidize, because at the moment it doesn't look quite right, but I think you get like the feel of what it's supposed to look like. Is that right? Something looks a little bit off. Gonna speed things up a little bit here, and I'm just gonna fill in the skull face. I'm gonna fill in like the nose and the eyes, and hopefully that's gonna reveal if something's gone a little bit wrong along the way. Trust the process, it'll all be alright in the end. If we've made any mistakes, then we can just fix them. That's the beauty of Minecraft. So where was I in my LARPing story? I think I'd just gotten finished saying that it's there is like a little bit of awkwardness in kind of like going somewhere and like meeting people you don't know, because I went to my first one by myself, so I had to, like, I didn't have like a friend group that I went with. I had to meet everyone fresh and new, and so there's a little bit of anxiety there. But as I said, they're all wonderful people, and it was just it was a great time. And I'm trying to think back to my first one, and because there was a couple of things that really made me fall in love with the LARPing. But I remember the second one because essentially there was torrential downpour for one of the evenings, and it was like a thunderstorm, and like a lot of the some of the pathways basically turned into rivers. The rainfall was that hard. But I went on this overland quest, so essentially it's like a D&D quest. Like you go, you fetch items, or you talk to people, and you have to overcome like combat challenges or like riddles. And we were talking to someone like a homunculus who gave us like clues as to what happened in this like abandoned laboratory. Someone had been there before us, and they had died, and we were trying to figure out how they died. And basically I just asked like, oh well, what happened to them? How did they die? And the homunculus, who was an NPC, just like a guy, just turned around, looked at me and said violently. And then there was this massive like 3-second long roll of thunder. And it was so perfectly timed. It was like, it would be impossible to try to set that up. And it just kind of gave me chills. And I've just realized this emerald is too far to the left. So I'm going to take that out. And there we go. Now this has come together. But yeah, just like that is now like a set memory for me now. Like I'm never going to forget that part of LARP and that kind of real life interaction. And just, actually, I remember again, like at that LARP, I was gambling in a tavern. I was supposed to be getting conned because it was like 4 people were in on this like conning ring, and they bring in like 1 person. So essentially, they had an 80% chance of winning. Whoever wins of those 4, they just split the profits. Oh, actually, again, back to the build. Just wanted to get a look at this at night now that it's finished without the scaffolding, and I love it. We're going to be moving on to a few of the more design things now that we've got the outline. So I need some lava, so I've got a little lava farm going up. And then the, like behind the nose and behind the teeth, we want it to be solid black. I do have plans of how to do this, of things I'm going to do like in the future, but for now we're just going to try and get this. And I've seen people do this before, so I know what the matter is. You just kind of pile it up high as far as you can. A little bit of water underneath. I think Binky said that I need flowing water, and then you just mine because it works like sand. It just falls down, and then it turns into set concrete. Yeah, the powder turns into concrete, and then it's like a solid black. Okay, this is not quite working how I imagined. Don't die in the snow. That would be bad. Okay. Okay, yeah, there we go. Awesome. And so I just need to get through this whole pillar of... Oh. Okay, that was a lot quicker than I expected. So, yes. Going one back and filling that with concrete, because that just looks cool. Don't you think? That looks good. But yeah, so I was being conned by these orcs at LARP, and I actually won, and they were actually trying to get people into play, like to gamble with them by offering really rare resources, like sweeten the pot. And I fell for it like a sucker, but then I won, and so they hired some mercenaries to beat me up and steal their stuff back, and I managed to evade them. So it was just like some really cool stuff, and like I think some people got annoyed that they were trying to con me. Why isn't this lava working? Because you join guilds in the LARP that I could go to. Just ignore this part where I'm stealing lava from Dinky's magical agriculture farm again. And like part of like the guild that I was joining were a bit upset that like these guys hired mercenaries to basically mug me, but I didn't have the resources on me at the time, so I got to keep the really rare resources, and it was just like a really cool event. I think now the lava's done. Now that I've gone and cheated it from mystical agriculture. Oh, if you are just listening to me ramble, come back to the video now, because this is so cool. I'm just filling the eyes with lava. Unfortunately, I did have to redo this because replay mod failed me, and I had to show you this shot of just like lava coming down. So just ignore the little tweaks that are on the courtyard a little bit, and just focus on how cool those eyes look. I love it. I absolutely love it. With the eyes, I did try like a few different things. Like I tried having a nether portal behind there, and I tried having like amethyst or emerald, and nothing really looked as good. Because now if we just wait around until nighttime, so we just wait a little bit. There we go. Because that glow from the lava, it's like nothing compares to it. And how cool does that look? Just imagine if you come into the valley for the first time through the way station, and then you just see that glowing skull in the distance. Fantastic. So yeah, I suppose all I've got to say about LARPing, going back to that just briefly, is that if it's something you've never done, but you're interested in like role playing, then you really should give it a go, even if it's just once, just to see if you like it or not. Because you got to try things. Like I'm trying this redstone now, but I don't like it. This is much better. Just like single blocks. Looks more kind of like a splotch or a star. But I'm thinking if I do it in a circle, then it's going to look kind of like a magic circle, like a ritual circle in the middle of the courtyard. I think that's going to look really cool. Needs a centerpiece. So if I just put a pedestal down there, and I thought about different things I could put on there, but I think the ominous bottle just looks the best. I'll put a few more splotches down. I think that looks pretty cool. But always good to get a different perspective. So I can place scaffolding on snow. I figured that out during this build. And okay, need to go a little bit higher. Chuk. Yeah, that looks cool. I think I'm going to make a little tweak though. I think if I put a few more lines here, then do you think it looks a little bit like the symbol for chaos? So like the symbol for chaos is it's like a compass, that's pointing in all 8 directions all at once. Because Necromancers, they're chaotic evil, aren't they? So what do you guys think? Are we nearly done? Because I am loving this. But I still think we can make it a little bit better. I think sticking with the lava theme, it would look really cool if we had some like streams of lava coming out on either side of the skull. So I'm gonna use a little bit of the lava that we've got left. I mean that's all right. Now I think it needs to be coming from a little bit higher, and it needs to come out a little bit further. So let's see how that's better. Yeah, let's have it coming forward one more as well. And so there's like a little bit of a lava pool as well as the a little bit more of a column. And actually, if we have it coming from one higher, it'll look like it's coming from the mountain itself. Ooh, grab that. And almost like it's flowing down from where the eyes are, maybe. And then we just finish it off with a few pillar trims. Give it a little bit of like texture. Have that coming down on this side. Yes. Wonderful. Okay, let's have a mooch. Whoa! Oh, overshot a little bit. Let's take the elytra off because that's not 100% used to that yet. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good. Just once I've cleared off the workbench and the shulker cases, shulker chests, shulker, whatever they are. Once it's all clear, and once the copper has been oxidized, and once it's nighttime, yes, that is looking so cool. It's actually quite calming and peaceful looking up at it. That soft glow. And oh, one second. Yeah, very peaceful, almost serene. And so phase 1 of the Necromancer Tower is complete. If you want to be notified of phase 2, then subscribe and hit that bell. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you've got any ideas for the next wizard build, then drop them in the comments below. Until next time, ciao!